right. Bringing Rich Eisen, the NFL Network and DirecTV, the Audience Network, Channel 239. Richie Rich joins us now. Hi, Rich.
I would love to have that happen just to hear the folks of Boston say the word Velociraptor. Just give it a try.
Have you been, did you see the movie?
I have not. I have not. My oldest had strep this weekend. There was no movie going, Dan.
Well, that might not be a kid's movie. Like, it's a certain. It's not even a grown-up movie.
No, I wasn't. I love it. No, it's not that I would have brought him. There was that sort of took all the oxygen out of the room. You know what I mean? The kid staying home, but there was no movie going this weekend for anybody.
We were just debating this. Michael Jordan went 6-0 in the finals. Magic went 5-4. Would you rather go 5-4 or 6-0?
6-0, without a doubt, I'd go 6-0 because that's the, at least I heard you guys debating that on the way in, where you even took the time to look up the teams that Magic lost to, and you're like, well, yeah, those are pretty good teams, But then there's Michael Jordan. You didn't have to look anything up for him. You didn't have to do anything except say he never lost. And he had the ability to rip out your heart and show it to you pumping, and enjoyed it more than perhaps celebrating at home with his own fans, or he relished one just as much as the other. But everybody conveniently does forget the Doug Collins years with him, and that had nothing to do with Doug Collins. It had to do with the team that was around him. And Jordan didn't win from Jump Street. He did. It was a process. So, and we can, even before all the Deflategate insanity, we were debating Brady versus Montana and Brady versus Bradshaw, greatest of all time. And there are some who never lost, and then there are some who had lost, and that's I think going to always be the as long as they have the same number of rings, that will be the determining factor.
Yeah, but I would take Brady's career over Montana's when it comes to the Super Bowl.
You would?
Yeah.
Why?
I got there more times. I want to get there.
That's true. I don't begrudge LeBron getting there, but I wouldn't understand the idea of not making the playoffs at all. I mean, not making the playoffs at all, certainly in the Eastern Conference, means you are positively dreadful, and you have had a regular season to forget. If you can't even make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, you're at least, 15, 20 games under 500? And he took a team that, that was filled with players from one of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference. And, I just read coming in, this morning that J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert combined to shoot 29% in the finals. You change that 2 to a 3, and we're definitely playing a Game 7, and they might be hoisting the Larry O'Brien on Friday night if those guys shot anywhere close to 40%. To give LeBron the assistance that he needed off the bench, or at least to avoid the double a little bit more often to a wide-open 3 shooter, I think that's the big difference here.
If you look at today's athlete, and LeBron James embodies today's athlete because he tells you everything. There's social media, there's Instagram. He goes to a press conference, and he'll tell you that he's the best player in the world. I think it's hurt him more than helped him in a lot of ways. But if you had that with other athletes in different eras, like we would know more about Montana. We would have been exposed to more of Michael Jordan. Like, I don't know how that would have, if that would have helped or hurt what we think of that legacy or that, what we conjure up when we think of them.
Here's the way I view these things, is that I certainly, from my position, never begrudge a player speaking his or her mind from the podium, even if it comes across as egotistical or diva-ish. I love it. I mean, we are in the business of talking about this stuff, and if they are going to speak their mind and not put anything on there, if they're going to not swallow what they're really thinking, I'm all for it, and I'm not going to sit here and bash them for it. I think it's terrific. I'd rather have an athlete do that than shine me off with all of the cliches and not give me anything and give me 3-word answers, etc. I don't want to hear that. And then on top of it, is it hurting him with the fan base by saying these things? Maybe some people are hate tuning into the finals, perhaps. But LeBron James walks down the street. They are selfieing. They are asking for autographs. They are flipping and wigging out. out, because that is LeBron James right in front of them. They are perhaps, if they are bigger, medium fans, even buying his gear, going to see the next Amy Schumer movie because of him. I mean, I don't think this is her. I think this has put him in a much better plane these last few weeks. But before.
I don't think I don't think America finds him embraceable, lovable for whatever reason. Like, isn't that odd?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think the way he departed Cleveland is still, ruined him for some people. But him coming home, I think erases a lot of that. Certainly, it does in the state of Ohio. And what he did was remarkable. I mean, I for one, I'm really impressed by what I saw, and what I'm also not going to miss is him passing off to all of these guys breaking it. I mean, it was a hard watch sometimes. How many times did they have a shot after the Warriors? They defensively stood tall and kept them from scoring 3-4 straight trips, and then every time you'd watch the Cavs go down the floor, and Dellavedova, who was a supernova at some points, but he's driving the basket with 2 seconds to go on the clock, or somebody's taking a forced three. It was just brutal. It was brutal to watch, and the fact that the Cavs even got 2 wins was remarkable in its own right, and that's because of LeBron and what he did.
I saw where Russell Wilson's going to take out an insurance policy.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Why not? I mean, if he's going to be making only $400K this year and something happens, God forbid, that's catastrophic on the field, what now?
Should Seattle give him that max deal, or let this play out this season and then you can franchise him for a couple of years if you wanted to?
I don't think they're going to go down that road. I honestly don't have any quote unquote insight on what is happening between these two parties, except for the fact that they're going to have to pay Russell Wilson the richest contract in the history of quarterbacking. The question is when. And how will Andrew Luck eclipse it if he signs afterwards, or if he signs first? How will Seattle have to eclipse that? Those two guys are going to get it. They're going to strike it rich. And how can the Seahawks do that with a certain number to keep the Legion of Boom and the rest of the defense together? Now, I know they've signed half of the Legion, the 2 crucial members of the Legion of Boom, to long-term contracts. But, long-term contracts in the NFL change from year to year with the salary cap.
Is he covered differently if he's the highest-paid quarterback in the league?
Sure. Everybody, the expectation levels always rise when you make a contract like that. But he's already won 2 NFC championships, 1 Super Bowl. He can run for mayor in that town, and he is more than just a quarterback in that town. He's a fabric. He's a member of the community woven into the fabric up there. So maybe not up there, but that also implies that he won't live up to it. I think he will. I think he is that good, and I think you see every year he can get better, and he knows it too. So I have full faith and credit in him.
Who's on today?
Scott Van Pelt. What's going on with you and him? What's up? What can I help with here? Is there anything I can help with here?
It was just a question that came up from a listener that could I, outshoot Scott Van Pelt?
Well, wasn't it horse, or was it? And then you turned it into more competitive.
Why did
one-on-one?
Oh yeah, go figure. I turned it into more competitive.
Yeah, I saw that. I heard that. I caught that. If there's anything you want me to broker or be an intermediary, I can. But knowing Scott, I think he'll defer.
Who's your money on in that situation?
Oh gosh, don't drag me into this, Dan.
Wait, you just brought it up.
No, I said I can be an intermediary, not take sides.
Well, you wanted to know the beef, and I want to know.
I'm Switzerland here. I'm on, or unless of course you're Sepp Blatter, then I'm going to take.
No, you know what I am? I'm Swish-erland.
Swish Blatter, is that what you are?
I'm
You're the long-lost Blatter brother.
Swisherland.
Swish Blatter.
Yeah.
He's on today. Ernie Johnson on today.
EJ.
And JJ Watt. And then in studio from Magic Mike XXL, Joe Manganiello will be in studio hour number 3.
You love Joe.
Joe's awesome. Joe's a good dude, and he is a diehard
Steeler, right, fan?
big time. Like, he knows what Bud Dupree did in Kentucky and how he could fit maybe in a new scheme. And he's concerned about the offensive line. He's wondering who is going to be in the secondary with everybody retiring. I mean, he is.
How many Sofia Vergara questions are you allowed to have?
Allowed? I mean,
well, over under.
There are no ground rules.
Over under 2 Sofia Vergara questions.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's been no ground rules, so I imagine there's no set limit on that. Dan, was there something you'd like to know?
No, just wanted to know. I didn't.
Do you want to take her on in horse? Is that what you're saying? You would like to compete? A trick shot with Sophia?
A strip horse.
Oh my God Almighty!
What did I just say?
You just said that. Is that thing on in front of you right there?
Now I got Van Pelt's attention. Yeah, Van Peasy.
Oh,
I'll play
God.
Van Pelt and strip horse.
Now that'll be the first edition of the Midnight Sports Center.
Yes, yeah. No. It's best that Van Peasy and I just keep our separate ways.
We
just get along.
Too.
Yeah, he's just a nice guy. We just move in our parallel paths and just live happily ever after. You know, just two great athletes.
And everything between you and the mothership seems to be improving with each passing
We're
day.
just, it's that there's been sort of a peace pipe there, and we'll see.
Where would you rate a scale of 1 to 10 where your relationship with the mothership is right now?
Well, this is just I ask them to show me respect.
Yes.
In what I'm doing, that I'm trying to do a show, and they know that I break more news on this show than any of their shows do. What did I just say?
Now, I did see when Shaq was on. When Shaq was on and said he'd take Kobe over LeBron, they tweeted it out with your Twitter handle. Dan.
Yes, but you know what? We've got a good relationship going, and it's because of John Skipper. He kind of came to the table and said, let's move on here.
Last question for you.
Yes.
Did Lazarus make Seton shave off his beard?
Seton did not shave off his beard because Mark Lazarus from NBC Sports.
Are you sure?
Well, it is. I think it's just a coincidence. I think the problem is people thought that Seton looked like Matthew Dellavedova.
That's what Susie says. Susie's watching the NBA Finals. I think Game 4. She goes, "Why does he look like? What does he remind? It's Seth Seton." She screamed at the.
And that's why Seton shaved.
We got the same game too.
Oh, yeah. Well, look. Look, Seton, you got it all working. I just wanted to make sure that everything's fine. You know that, Dan.
He's Rich Eisen from the NFL Network. DirecTV coming up at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on DirecTV. Thank you, Rich.
All right, TP.
All right, bud.